Traditional values has certain context. This video is going to go over everyone's head. This video is for no one besides really my friend who made this comment. I agree that traditional values has certain context. Those contexts, in my opinion, aren't they extremely biased? Like when you say traditional family values, you only mean specific white traditional family values from like what, the 1960s? Right? Like a very specific period in time that you are considering traditional, right? Not like any other nation, not any other country, not any other, race. Like when people in America say traditional family values, you're not talking about the traditional black family, you're not talking about traditional Indian families, you're not talking about tradition African families, you're not really talking about any other type of tradition besides white tradition. A very specific time period, like 1950s to 1970s, but without the domestic violence. It's very interesting, right? Traditional values, women were actually property. Before women actually had, laws that prevented their abuse, some animals had more rights than women did. It's crazy. So I think the terminology traditional family values I've always really struggled with, right? Because they're not traditional. They're very specifically from a given time period, and that very specific time period had some very horrible things, including racism, sexism, domestic violence, and that part is usually left out. And traditional values now, it seems, in today's day and age, just means you're for the nuclear family, which, real talk, then you could just say, I'm pro-nuclear family. You don't necessarily have to say traditional values. Again, traditional values aren't traditional. They're specifically about like a hierarchy that was created where women do this task, men do this task. But with those values also came extreme abuse, extreme sexism, financial dependence on the male hierarchy and patriarchy, racism, extreme homophobia. And all of that always seems to be like omitted. Again, like traditional values in a specific context, absolutely. The specific context of a time period and a certain race, Caucasian. Because real traditional values completely different across international borders, right? When we say, I believe in traditional values in America, that's not what really people mean. Unless, of course, I'm misinterpreting what people think. Let me know what you think, and I hope this helps. And to anyone else who actually watched this, wow, congratulations.